We will stop racing to topple foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with.
Great nations do not fight endless wars. You're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you.
Look, there's a reason why Trump's pledge to pursue an America first, no more wars, isolationist agenda resonated so well with his core MAGA audience. Because the MAGA movement rallied around that promise, rejecting military adventurism and foreign entanglements that are both bloody and costly. You may also remember this version of Donald Trump from over a decade ago.
Obviously, the war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake.
We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East.
Yeah, I wonder what that Trump would say about this Trump. But if you look at recent polls, more Americans actually disapprove of this war, about 48%, than support it at 37%. But Republicans are still largely sticking by Trump. About 76% of Republicans support the war compared to just 11% of Democratic voters. And what about MAGA? Well, the numbers are even higher. Around 85% of MAGA Republicans support it. And if you've been on Facebook lately, remember Facebook, you'll see Trump supporters citing other polls that put that number even higher.
90% of MAGA supports it. Look at that.
So is it MAGA that's abandoning its core tenets? Well, not quite. If you look at modern US history, this is not an unusual pattern. In 1965, about 61% of Americans said sending troops to Vietnam was not a mistake. By 1973, the numbers flipped. 60% said it was a mistake. Here's another example. George W. Bush, one of the least popular presidents in modern US history, he had an approval rating of 90% after 9/11. And when it came time to invade Iraq in 2003, based on lies about Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction, about 2/3 of Americans supported the war. And given that Trump's own approval rating is quite low at the moment, I don't think it's going to surprise anyone that the longer this US-Israeli war in Iran continues, the less popular it's going to be, even amongst his base. But what is noteworthy about this is how popular MAGA figures have vocally opposed this war in Iran.
This happened because Israel wanted it to happen. This is Israel's war. This is not the United States' war.
And this feels very much to me like it is clearly Israel's war.
What is happening to the man that I supported, you supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq, the man that said no more foreign wars, no more regime change? We're a year in, and we're in another fucking war.
And remember, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene, who used to be one of Trump's most loyal allies before they fell out over Gaza and his handling of the Epstein files. And it's not like the criticism isn't getting to Trump. He's famously rebuked MTG Online before, and for Tucker Carlson's comments, well, he kicked him out of the MAGA movement apparently. And even if we are still going with the argument that Trump's core base is still with him, having these influential figures inside MAGA publicly oppose him like this shouldn't be dismissed. It's like losing some of the movement's biggest megaphones. And if you're still asking about the movement, there are attempts still being made to sell this war to Trump's base. Just listen to Lindsey Graham.
When this regime goes down, we're going to have a new Mideast. We're going to make a ton of money.
Now, Trump is already calling this war in Iran a short-term excursion. But that might say more about the political pressures he's facing than the realities on the ground. Oil markets are already fluctuating, and reports that suggest disagreements between Washington and Israel are starting to come to light over what the endgame actually looks like. And as Trump quickly realizes this is no Venezuela, the real question now isn't just how this war ends, but whether his core base inside MAGA can hold if it doesn't end quickly, especially with the midterms approaching later this year.